Greetings, gentle viewers!
And howdy howdy!
Those scenes in the last episode were really good! So I promise I'm going to shut up until I have something else to rant about. But they were really good and I liked all of it.
I give him about 5 minutes.
All of the character stuff with Nagisa and Kotoko and Toko and Jill.
Yeah,
and even Komaru. All of it great. Enjoy much. Okay, so now I will cease for as long as I can. But it's like Kurokuma. It starts to build up and you can't help but say something.
Speaking of... We're the Bittersweet Gamers. And I'm We Squared. We're back to our most favorite character. She's trying to use a magic circle drawn in crayon to resurrect Junko.
That looks like it, yeah.
All right, all done. Yay! Monica's very own special-made magic circle.
Whoa! You're awfully chipper.
Well, of course. Everything is going swimmingly. Spinny, spin, spin. The world is spinning, and Monica's at the center. Everything is all thanks to my wonderful allies, playing their part and doing their best.
Looks like time's winding down. Just a little bit longer and we'll have a brand new successor on our hands.
Ah, so all of this is to turn Monaca into the true ultimate despair, the second coming of Junko. Notice that the branches on the wall are exactly the same imagery that was used for Junko in like the artistic mural.
Oh yeah,
the earlier part we were in.
A second generation Junko Enoshima, huh? Well, things are getting pretty interesting around here.
Yeah.
As expected of the woman I entrusted with my life. It was not wrong of me to believe in you.
The thing is, this is tame compared to what we just did.
It's sad but true.
Why the surprised expression?
No, more resigned expression at this point.
You idiot. You're the only one I trust. Don't you know that by now?
Then again, Toko earned that.
Yeah, she did.
I suppose our opponent in Chapter 4 is going to be Nagisa. Speaking of Nagisa, we're the Bittersweet Gamers. Wait, I did that wrong. The Way We Live. Speaking of Nagisa, don't we have to go back to this scene?
I beg of you, please, just leave this city. Where did this come from?
And it's playing the super determined Danganronpa music. He's filming it.
Aw, I knew this would happen.
Ahole is what is written on his face, like dumbass.
So the Monokuma kids are reporting to Nagito, no surprise.
Yeah, like I said, it's funny how they always mess with his face, whether it's cake on his face, or drawing, or artwork on his face. What does that mean?
I don't want to think about Nagito's face, unless I'm punching it.
In order for the new society of children to be calm and peaceful, I need to create paradise.
I suppose that means that for many of the children, the Kuma kids, the reason they've been doing the silly things is because of Nagito. That's why they've been passing out the bullets, because wasn't it Nagito who removed them?
Yeah!
That's why they've been sort of helping.
Mm-hmm.
Like was said really early on by Toko, there's a difference between the kids that are helping and the ones that aren't.
Right.
I mean, are they really helping? Well, who knows? But anyway.
Everyone has high expectations of me. I cannot fail.
Oh man, I get you.
So please, get out of our town. But
That's why we can't.
Yeah.
Oh, Maru, don't be tricked. You don't have to actually accept that offer.
No, This is not an offer. It's an honest request.
Wow.
Please. I'm begging you. Please leave.
Quit drowning yourself, dude! Sacrificing pride like this is nothing compared to actually achieving your goals.
Hey! I wouldn't trust a kid, even if he's kneeling on the ground. He's obviously tricking us.
He isn't. He really isn't. Not this time.
No.
He can't do it, but...
I do not intend to trick you. I'm serious.
Whoa!
Dude, one day, Nagisa, you're going to realize the enormity of what you have done. And it may take you your entire life, or even longer, before you can ever make that right. Yeah.
And now, you are free.
Nagisa, if you do this, you're gonna make Monaca super sad!
It doesn't really matter. She can't do anything without him, probably.
Maybe.
I know that, but it has to be done. Monaca has high expectations of me. I'm sure she'll understand.
Because she's just been oozing understanding the entire game.
I'll take you to the secret passageway. It's the only way to get out of town. I can guarantee your safety until you reach it. The Monokumas won't attack with me here.
Are we going to run around with him following behind us?
Huh.
Come on, let's go.
Hey! I told you to wait!
Toko, of course, will never consider this without Byakuya.
Yeah, of course.
Komaru is a different
What?
story.
Do you have another objection?
Oh, she's got loads of them.
Do I? Oh, Maru, are you really okay with this?
Huh? Of course she is. This is what she wanted all this time.
Oh, it's so interesting. What Komaru has wanted this whole time is straight up being offered to her on a silver platter. Meanwhile, what Nagisa has wanted this whole time, he's trying to get it by offering this on a silver platter. That's just really fascinating, this sort of parallel-y thing.
I wasn't talking to you. I'm asking Amaru.
And Nagisa's like, who's Amaru? I thought her name was Komaru.
She wants to leave this town. Why are you getting in her way? You're on the same side, right? Then you should respect her feelings.
Her feelings? Shut up! You have no right to say that.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right. I will personally guide you to the secret passageway. No need to worry.
Well, since you've removed the armband, grabs him, puts him in a headlock, let's go!
What do you have to say, Komaru?
Let's go.
Nagisa!
Don't follow us.
But...
You don't want Monaca to hate you, do you?
Huh, yeah.
Let's go. The secret passageway is this way.
Guess he won't be following us then.
This way.
That kid... He looks so normal, running like that.
Off into the distance.
How does a non-normal kid run?
Yeah, if he's going that way, we're going the other way. Contrarianism. Don't mind me, we'll just take this.
About the children at night. There's only one thing I could tell for sure after taking the night shift as lookout. The children were all wearing those idiotic helmets. None of them look like they're sleeping, and I've never seen them eat either.
Yeah, those kids are brainwashed tools.
Are they really human children? Isn't it possible that they're just mechanical dolls, like Monokumas? Well, regardless, whether they're humans or robots, they're devils in our eyes. The only difference is what liquid they bleed when we run them over. Well, if that's not an ambush location ahead of us, I don't know what is.
Not while Nagisa's around, right?
Well, that's what he says.
This way! Follow me closely!
I really believe him, though.
Well, he is the sage.
Now, are they going to target Nagisa?
That's a good question.
Hold on.
That means
Why are you attacking me?
that Monaca has thrown him away too. And the fear, the cowering, or maybe Nagito, but
Yeah.
What's going
Get him.
on?
Kill him.
Why is
Kill
he
him.
getting ambushed
Oh.
by the Monakumas?
I don't know either.
Stop it!
Where are you? Let me at him! Let me at him! Ah, they're so slow!
well, you're taking him out so fast. Every time. These are amazing every time.
Check out the website for more info.
Oh, and you can hit him with moves too.
Pooh!
Haha!
Vehicular monoside?
Side all the monos. Dude, he just got hit! Ah,
Yes.
and ta-da!
Woo.
Now that the coast is clear, the fact that he's been abandoned like this, whosever's orders it was, just goes to show how empty,
His ideals are?
yeah, clearly what he was operating under, and what at least Monaca, or maybe Nagito, who knows, what they were operating under wasn't the same.
Right.
The enormity of what Nagisa is responsible for is almost unthinkable, but he's so easily manipulated. Well, here we are.
I thought you said the Monakumas wouldn't attack us if you were here.
They're not supposed to.
This is strange. What in the world is this?
He's noticed so many discrepancies before and ignored them because they make Monaco sad when he brings them up.
He didn't want to ignore them, but he was kind of forced to.
He's smart. He's smarter than this.
Hey, you weren't lying when you said you wouldn't trick us, right?
Of course. If I wanted to deceive you, I would not have removed your wristband.
He did that first before she ever even
Yeah.
agreed to his request.
Then they must have found out you betrayed them.
Betrayal? Me?
That's pretty much the only way this could be seen, frankly.
Not really.
From Monica's perspective.
I have no way of understanding what that perspective would be.
No, that's wrong. I'm no traitor. I am the leader of the Warriors of Hope. I care about making paradise more than anybody. The reason I'm letting you guys go is because I care so much.
That's true.
It appears your allies aren't taking it that way.
I'm sure she'd understand if I explained it to her properly. Monaca has such high expectations.
That's those expectations. It can be so crushing.
Yeah, keep on saying that, Mr. Genius grade schooler.
Well, what are you gonna do now, kid?
I'm gonna collect my spoils personally.
Not you!
Let's go.
Bodies everywhere. I'm getting sick of this.
Next attack.
Let's play!
I'm a Warrior of Hope. I'm your master.
You can probably knock him back up there. Well, then again, that should do it.
Right!
Any sort of organization based on... Oh, good shot. Based on horrible betrayal, how can you not expect that this is the sort of thing that will occur?
Right?
It's like the mistake that he made was thinking that everyone else believed the same way he did.
Really?
La la la! Bring on the bombers. We have one-hit kill bullets.
Come on. Oh god! What?
The explosion took him out, dude.
Oh no!
It's wrong. Just wrong.
Wow, that was some pretty good range.
Dang!
Oh my! That's most of them. Put your own body in the way if you have to.
It worked! Woo!
You know, if we have to do this again, shield him with your body. That might work.
Woo!
Really?
David, I'm terrified.
Don't worry about it. The conductor's 48 hours. When she swings the baton, the symphony begins. I'm not going to keep reading because she's, it's about to. Odoriko Anaka, famous as the genius conductor, is regarded by the world as perfect, talented, extraordinary, and beautiful. However, she has a secret that she keeps from them all. The pinnacle of lyrical sexual prose, a fluttering melody of suffering and sadism.
Oh!
Okay, Coco, what do you think? This novel seems pretty intense. Interested?
So vulgar.
Even with the S&M bits, it's beneath me! It's probably just some sloppily written wish fulfillment fan fiction garbage.
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Oh, I'm sure it's not going that bad.
No, it's definitely going to be that bad. I can feel the lack of talent from here. Any book with the title this bad has to be just as bad on the inside. You always judge a book by the cover.
Well, if the ultimate writing prodigy says it, I'm sure it's true.
Ugh.
A tasty subject like S&M boiled down to this crap? A true masochist like me would do better.
Are these the kind of books that you write?
How did this even get published? They must really be getting desperate to put this out.
That sells.
Which reminds me.
Hey, as a true masochist, have you ever had that kind of experience?
Are you actually actively asking about this? What, like being tied up or suspended? There's no way I'd do such indecent things.
But then, how do you know you're a masochist if you've never actually done that stuff before? Isn't that like someone saying they love cigarettes but they've never smoked before? That's just too weird.
You underestimate my imagination. Every spare moment I'm being stepped on, tied up, suspended by my master. In my head.
Okay. You sound pretty proud about that, but I don't really want to know any more details.
But that reminds me, one time, I was really tied up and suspended.
Could it be?
Huh? By Byakuya? Really?
No.
I don't even remember his name now. It was when I was in 3rd grade.
3rd grade? Well, you're not the same age as me. Maybe we had the same teacher, though?
Oh, God! Someone's lunch money got stolen, and it somehow ended up in my desk. My classmates thought I did it, so they tied me up to the jungle gym with a guard nose.
So cruel.
That's horrible.
You're right.
Is that your tragic backstory of why you became a killer?
At the time, I felt a tingling sensation. But I'm sure that's not related, I promise.
Oh, that definitely sounds like a formative experience in your life. We're ending this conversation now.
Hey, where are you going? The secret passageway is this way.
But collectibles!
So he says. Let's go back.
Oh, fine.
Alright, partially skinned cow. I'll return. Time to get a move on.
This way.
This way.
You're seriously trusting a guy like that? I'm sure he's planning to betray you.
You think so?
Probably not, since the Monokumas did actually kill him when they got a chance.
There is betraying involved here, but it's not him that's doing the betraying.
Well, time for the next ambush location.
Third time's the charm, dude. You can't think it's a mistake at this point.
Don't come near me.
What are you...
Whoa!
I mean, you hit the wrong direction, but... Bowling! Don't... Isn't that gonna roll him at Nagisa? Okay. Okay, don't you have another one to deal with?
That's correct.
Like, stick to one target and take them out. Take out the target if you have to, even if you don't get any auxiliary benefit from it, you know?
Yeah. Kill that thing!
Yeah, that's what they do. I don't really know exactly what they're doing, but... Man, these really go on for a while. Okay, we've got to be nearly done. No, those take like 3 headshots. Finish him off, finish him off. Just use paralyze. You've only got 19 bullets left. My gosh!
Okay, I think this is the last dude. Jeez!
They just kept coming!
Nose?
Feet!
Hands? I would like more bullets, please.
Oh, no comments this time, Nagisa? Maybe once was a mistake or an accident. Not anymore!
Ah, jeez. Okay, let's get to the part where we find out
Let's
you can't
go.
actually help
The
us.
secret passageway is this way.
Goodness!
So cruel. This is too cruel.
Yeah, it
I
is.
won't look. But even if I don't see it, I can pretty much figure out what happened.
Is this really what you want, Nagisa?
You really don't feel anything seeing this?
This is what you've done. Is this really what you want?
These people are demons. Our enemies.
You, don't look so sure there, buddy.
That's not what she asked.
You said it before, right? It's because you're afraid of adults?
Yeah, that's right. We can't help but be terrified around adults.
As far as that goes, I don't blame them. Look at what's happened to all of them. But this is not proportional. I really don't want to make it sound like I'm advocating patricide.
Right?
If you are in a terrible situation, but I'm telling you, patricide is a much better outlet.
Then mass murder?
Exactly. Like, if it's got to be one or the other, killing the target of your hatred is much better than a mountain of corpses.
If the adults just didn't exist, we could live peacefully. That's what I believe.
You want to know what I believed in when I was a kid?
Why are you so afraid of adults?
Well, this is his chapter, so...
We Warriors of Hope were classmates in the Hope's Peak Elementary program. We were in the classroom where they put all the troublemakers. But I resented being called a troublemaker.
Why were you in that class?
It makes it sound as if we ourselves were the cause of the trouble.
Well, you know, it's true though. Everybody goes through phases. Just because you're a troublemaker in school
doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person.
Yeah, like, look at a lot of people who were bullies in elementary or middle school. They end up turning into normal people, who are fine people who probably deeply regret what they did.
And some don't, but...
The reason for classes like this, full of troublemakers, is because, they're people who have backgrounds and experiences that aren't so good. And that's why you're supposed to be given, like, a special consideration and hopefully, presumably, certainly not in this case.
Well, it's Hope's Peak.
Put in under the care of a teacher who understands how to deal with troubled kids. But the actual acting up is still your fault.
Yeah.
Like, you still acted up, and you have to pay the price for that. But no, the cause isn't your fault.
Yeah.
But that's not right. Our troubles were created by adults. By our parents. They say kids can't pick their parents. Well, we were the unluckiest ones of all.
It's very true.
My parents were, without exaggeration, the worst. Like demons.
In fact, that's why my hair is like this.
So that's it.
My parents raised me like they were leveling me up in some game.
I thought so.
Jesus!
This is like the worst possible way of expressing I will give my children success by forcing them to become robots with no personality, resume-building machines destined for a perfect, happy life where they hate everyone and themselves and you.
There's an IV hooked up to him, and those are probably energy drinks or something along those lines in the fridge, and he's got a big mountain of... Why is there a knife on the table in front of him in the bottom right?
The IVs are like nutrition.
Yeah, no, I know why they're there. See, I understood all of this. What I don't understand is why there's a knife with blood stains by it.
If you're starting to fall asleep, a great way to wake yourself up is pain.
They didn't treat me like a person. They probably even forgot I was their child. From morning till night, study, study, study. When I got sleepy, analeptics. Even if I faint, HP is fully restored with a handy IV in my arm. 3 to 4 days straight.
The worst thing you can do is rob a child of his childhood.
A child's supposed to be a child.
This is terrible.
And if I showed even the slightest resistance, they'd use items to neuter my spirit.
What I want to know is, where did he actually find the time to make all these Dragon Quest references?
First thing he did when the Warriors of Hope formed was to just mainline all the games.
And by doing so, as long as they steadily racked up XP, I'd level up to their expectations. And it wasn't just at home. I received the same expectations at school as well.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising, because Hope's Peak is a horrible, horrible place where they are not above legitimately manipulating invasive brain surgery to make someone the ultimate genius.
My father was a teacher at our school. He was a researcher of children's talent.
Oh.
And there we have it!
I see. Well, this is why...
He used his own son to research the growth of a child's talent.
This is the perfect reason of why we always complain about the Hope's Peak system and the Future Foundation's role in it, is because isn't this the logical endpoint? This is horrible.
This is terrible.
He wanted to see what the growth curve would be like if he pushed a child to the breaking point. Isn't that funny? I was the subject of such an amusing experiment.
You should talk to our friend Hajime.
It's not funny at all. But even with all that, I was still better off than the others.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. Like, it doesn't diminish what happened to him, but it's not the same.
You saw Monica's legs, right? That was done to her by her family.
Oh my god.
Her father and older brother were jealous of her talent. And that's how she ended up like that.
Older brother, eh? His name wouldn't happen to be Haiji, would it?
That's horrible.
Because we had talent. Because we were superior. We were treated like we were in hell.
We may complain about Hope's Peak and ultimate this and ultimate that and worshipping of talent.
Well, so does the game, but go on.
But for the person who actually has it, there's nothing bad about it. It's not your fault. You shouldn't be blamed for the circumstances of your birth, which do include your own inherent abilities. I'm not advocating for that at all, and he has every right to complain about that. After all, that is what happened to it.
But during it all, we didn't hold a grudge against our parents. We accepted how we were treated.
That may have been the problem, actually.
Because we weren't aware that it was okay to hate our parents. We trusted the common knowledge that kids must love their parents, so we didn't fight it.
Ah, common knowledge. I will not go on a rant, but feel free to imagine the one that I would say.
Instead, we bonded over our struggle.
Yeah.
And those discussions led us to the same conclusion.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah, the conclusion you came to is wrong, but...
Right, but this is the point of the troublemaker class. The kids can actually understand where the other kids are coming from.
We had to escape from the horrifying world that made us suffer.
How?
The thing is, Nagisa appears to be the only one who actually felt this bond with the other kids. None of the others have acted like they cared about it.
Yeah.
Nagisa came in to save Kotoko.
Nagisa was the one who was concerned about Jotaro and Masaru's status.
Kotoko also acted concerned. But
that's true, but she was quickly brought into line by Monaca.
Which doesn't mean she wasn't concerned, but Nagisa is the one who continuously risks himself by expressing this. And I don't know, I find that's one of the saddest things. However twisted and awful all of this stuff is, and everything that they've done, how terrible all of it is, for Nagisa at least. He really believed that this was for the people, the only people he was ever allowed to bond with. And that feeling probably isn't reciprocated. Isn't that the worst betrayal of all? To sacrifice everything? To sacrifice your very humanity?
For people that don't care?
For people that don't even care about you? The ones that you're doing it for?
I'd just like to take a moment here to point out their expressions. Everyone standing on this ledge looks terrified, except for one person.
We were desperate to run away from our scary parents, scary adults, the whole scary world. And we thought there was only one way out. But that's when it happened.
Something miraculous. And that's how we knew that Monaca was our savior.
There was someone who taught us to have courage. To fight back instead of running away.
Fight back's not the correct term. That's like one-sided slaughter. That isn't fighting back.
That was Big Sis Junko. Big Sis Junko told us how.
If you don't want it, give it to me.
Your despair?
She wanted the thing we were going to dispose of. Our lives. And so, Big Sis Junko abducted us. Our disappearance didn't make much news. This was around the time the incident was growing. Ever since then, the days have been so much fun. Big Sis Junko showered her possessions with love and affection. She gave us not only love, but a dream as well.
They don't know what love is.
I do like how Nagisa is surprisingly clear-eyed about this. Her possessions.
The dream of creating a children's paradise, where the children can live peacefully. We also learned from Big Sis Junko the beliefs required to build that dream.
Unfortunately, for someone who's used to studying and learning constantly and then believing everything that he learned, that's why Nagisa is so vulnerable to being taught an ideology.
Yeah.
Instead of learning wisdom, which ultimately will probably happen if you spend so much time in reading and study, instead of learning wisdom, he learned to accept what he was given by something that he nebulously respects, because a nebulous sort of respect is the only way he knows how to look at other things.
Yeah. Wisdom can really only be gained through the life experience of either you or of others who wish to share it with you.
The belief that adults are demons. It was as if we saw the light. Thanks to her, we finally realized. The common knowledge we had known up until then were lies adults created for their own benefit. Children cannot defy their parents. Everyone must get along. Violence can never bring peace. To destroy the world based on such lies, we decided to fight against the adults. As far as I remember, the first adult we defeated was a random person we didn't even know.
Jesus! Look at this!
This is just awful.
And once again, Monaca is stone-faced.
With that look. That look.
We learned that kids can kill adults if they wanted to, and we were encouraged. From there, we leveled ourselves up by killing demons. Big Sis Junko was so pleased. Just the idea of a child killing an adult is despair-inducing.
That's just insane.
Their first kill wasn't even against their parents, like the target of their ire.
It was just some random hobo.
Just as I expected. You guys were just tools to her. She was using you.
Uh-huh.
The way she took you in, it's no different than a cult.
That is correct.
You bring in the weak people and attach them to your own dream. The revolution you're talking about, it's all just another piece of despair to her.
You're just being used as tools. And the thing is they probably know that and think it's good. It's unfortunate, but they're so broken they haven't even had the chance to realize that it's not okay to be used as a tool.
They didn't know it was okay to hate your parents.
You guys were completely deceived by Junko and Ashima.
It's a shame. If they just could have hated their parents, things would have been a bit better. I don't mean to be flippant about it.
I understand what you're saying. If they had been given some kind of outlet for their feelings, then they could, confide in each other, you know?
Well, that's not quite what I mean. It doesn't matter. It's too nebulous, and I don't want to waste any more time than I usually do.
And what's wrong with that? Did I not tell you that we are her possessions?
Right.
Like you said.
We would rather her take advantage of us than horrible adults.
Right.
Sounds like it's too late.
Say what you like. Big Sis Junko gave us hope. That's the truth. And because of that hope, we were able to defeat the demon boss.
The demon boss?
Demon boss?
Head of Toa or something like that?
Our parents.
Ah!
You killed your parents?
That's not that surprising.
That was a special battle that can only be fought once. That made us level up even further. From there, Operation Children's Paradise began, and we started freeing other children.
See, we're getting the Warriors of Hope's backstory, because he's the last Warrior of Hope left, because what's going on with Monaca is completely different than what's going on with the rest of the Warriors of Hope.
Yeah.
So we're getting all the relevant backstory for all of them here, now, during Nagisa's chapter.
By doing so, the advance of the Warriors of Hope seemed unstoppable, but just when things were going so well, Big Sis Junko died, killed by some idiot. When she died, and we lost our guide, we didn't know what to do.
And that's when Kotoko appeared.
Huh.
But Monaca didn't despair.
All we gotta do is fulfill the hopeful dream Big Sis Junko gave us. We shouldn't give up. We can't abandon hope.
At that moment, Monaca looked just like Big Sis Junko in our eyes. Things that didn't matter vanished, and we felt ourselves rising up again. Come to think of it, that moment, that was the real beginning of the revolution. And this time around, I swore an oath. We, the survivors, will fulfill the dream and prove how amazing Big Sis Junko is. We would leave lies like education and love for family in the past and create paradise.
A paradise where everyone gets to do whatever they want, are completely free, and that dissolves into utter and absolute chaos after a couple of years, especially when people are living under the expectation they have to kill themselves. Or they'll just stay children forever, and anyway.
That is our hope.
You guys, you really don't understand that you're doing something very wrong.
That's kind of the main tragedy here.
Justice and evil. These are beliefs that adults have defined, are they not? First off, pure evil simply does not exist. In all evil, there is something good.
Assuming that's true, then what? What does that mean?
That means that your parents aren't pure evil, right?
And in the same way, justice always hurts someone. There is no pure justice either.
Are we really gonna stand around waxing philosophical with some little brat?
The problem is that when you start talking about a philosophy like this, it inevitably ends up being, therefore we can do whatever we want because it's right and we're right, and anything we don't like is wrong because we have so defined it, and...
That's what Jotaro was saying.
I want to know why you guys chose Toa City. And not only that, how did you guys get that army of Monokumas?
The one who chose the city and prepared our Monokumas was Monaca. Isn't she amazing? She created them with her special magic.
Nagisa, come now.
He's probably just using the same old Dragon Quest metaphors that have been consistent throughout the game.
Yeah.
Magic? Don't take any of this seriously. It's just some kid talking.
He was seriously talking about using items to recover HP.
That's true.
Basically, Monica's the mastermind. And to save Master, I gotta deal with her.
Monaca is our princess. I will never allow that.
Hey! Earlier, you said that there is no such thing as pure justice or evil. But even if that's true, a dream that requires you to hurt someone, I think it's wrong.
I want you to look over at that mountain of corpses, and I want you to tell me that that's not pure evil.
Right?
And tell me why.
After all this time, still saying something so naive. It seems as though we really don't have much in common. I was right to ask you to leave.
I know everybody hates it when I say this, but I'm sorry, what's naive is assuming that I can define what is right and wrong based on what I want and don't want, or like and don't like, and everything is permissible. That's naive.
Yeah!
So let's go already. The secret passageway is right up ahead.
All he's doing is giving Komaru more reason to stay and fight. Oh, don't make me defend him again. I don't think I have enough bullets.
We're here. It's at the shrine.
Huh, that's interesting. Awfully imperious stairs.
We should get going.
Hey, Omaru, do you have a second?
Huh? Yeah.
Are you really sure this is okay? To end it like this? Running away?
You're asking this now? All this time I've been trying to escape. And not just that. I'm still worried about my dad and mom. What are you gonna do, Toko? Are you really gonna stay here?
Toko's position is pretty obvious. She's consistently been trying to, it hasn't really come up yet, try and talk Komaru out of leaving. And she's right, of course. If Komaru leaves now, she'll regret it for the rest of her life.
It'll have all been for nothing. Yuta,
Taichi.
Yeah.
Taichi. Yeah.
Of course, I have to save Master Byakuya.
Right.
Plus, there's nothing they can throw at her that she can't handle.
Hey, what do you think, honestly? Is it better for me to stay in this city?
Why are you asking me?
I mean, if I go, you'll be alone.
Toko could just ask her to stay. What would she do then?
Yeah.
Toko, do you want me to stay?
In the very beginning, Komaru said to Toko, "Will you please protect me?" Or something like that. "Please stay with me. Please help me." Toko can return the favor.
That's true.
You have no reason to worry about me.
Yeah, she's fine.
I'm capable of surviving on my own.
Yeah, you're right. When I'm around, I'm just a burden to you. Unlike me, you're truly amazing, Toko.
Hey, Omaru?
Hmm?
Sorry for getting you involved in all this.
Involved? What do you mean?
Nothing. Just leave before he changes his mind.
And now she's trying to let Komaru have what she wants. Putting the burden all on herself, but that's what she's used to. And after what happened in the killing game of Danganronpa, she's willing to shoulder these burdens.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, the characterization is, as always, quite good, and the story is so grim.
Children know this town better than I thought. I thought this place would be fine. I was confident that I would never be found. But, as if they knew where I was hiding from the beginning, a Monokuma came and attacked me. I was just barely able to escape, but I couldn't save her. My wife was killed. She was torn apart, limb from limb. They cut off her skin, and her flesh was everywhere, but I just ran away. I'm done for. There's no place to hide, no place to run in this city.
It's true that your parents were cruel to you, but that doesn't mean you can kill all the adults. Again with that nonsense after all this? We are well aware that we are killing innocents.
But
This is war. When you're burning the enemy's country to the ground, do you stop to spare the good people? Even if we had years, we would never achieve our dream with that benevolence.
But
How ancient Chinese. How romance of the three kingdoms.
demon.
Consider it fate. We were born and raised here. We were treated as if we weren't even human. Wouldn't it be a cruel twist of fate if we didn't fight back? But for you to just do to them what they've done to you...
Don't mess with me.
Perhaps you think we should have stayed subhuman? Just accepted it?
no.
Not like that.
Hey,
Then you tell me. What should we have done? What was the right thing to do? Like I said earlier, I have no idea, and I wouldn't dare tell anybody what that is.
There is no easy answer.
But not this.
Yeah!
What should we have done to earn the privilege of a normal, happy childhood?
Don't mess with me!
Oh, stop being such a drama queen! You could have relied on the police, on the government!
Oh,
don't mess with me.
you're asking those who have had their lives destroyed by adults to trust other adults? Ever since we five were born in Toa City, our destiny was decided. No one can stop us. With all the children in this town, we will build an ideal paradise.
With all the children in this town? You're talking about all those brats in the helmets?
Yeah, you want to talk about them at all? Of course. It's not just us, but also the Monokuma kids. All the children.
It's far too suspicious.
Funny that all the kids in this town just happen to have murderous intentions like you. Don't you think that's a little weird?
Perhaps I've said too much. I have nothing else to say to you. You cannot stop us now.
Pretty bold for a shrimpy little brat like you to talk big. I don't care how unfortunate your childhoods were. Killing humans will never be okay, and that's coming from me.
Demon.
I didn't expect a demon to understand. There is a lot of meaning in Toko saying that. You know, these have been going on a lot longer than I originally intended recently. Why don't we go ahead and stop here, because we know it's gonna be bigger after this.
Something huge is about to happen.
So rather than interrupt the next scene, we'll just stop while we have a clean break.
Aren't we so benevolent?
My ambition cannot be stopped! Something summit of true might? Sorry, was that too Dynasty Warriors? Strategy!